Good morning. Is it good morning? It's just good morning. So good morning everybody. Looks like everybody's here except me until this second. Can somebody just confirm the sound's okay? Thank you, Paul Usher and Ken and Dopey Gorp. Thanks folks. I had this paranoia here that I might be jabbering away to myself, which sometimes probably that is better as an outcome, but I figured for a live stream show probably not so much. So look, I'm way behind. The jet you're looking at, as you know, I've got a fixation for biz jets. I'd love to say it's the one that I arrived on, or the one that I'm nipping to Edinburgh on after the show, but sadly not. So just getting into the nitty-gritty. So one of the things I was excited to talk about, and Eddie has worked all of the oracles, so well done Eddie, is that our memberships is now up and running. So I'm not going to do a hard sell in the stream. We're not hard sell people or anything, but I am going to say, looking at the chat, welcome to Ken Alloway, who I think is our first member. Either which way, Ken has joined Executive Lounge. Scrolling on down, Nell W, welcome to Aviator class Nell. Dopey Gorp, welcome to the Exec Lounge. Thank you all three, and anybody else that has joined that I'm just not seeing in the chat, because as fun as the chat is, it's not mandatory. So let's just collect myself with this vision of excitement. The other thing I need to tell you about, because I'll forget and then I'll wonder why there's nobody there later, we are going to be doing a pop-up live stream from Edinburgh this evening, 5 till 7. So hopefully folks will be able to join us for that. Sounds a lot of fun, plenty of movements, and I think they'll be on reverse ops. To be honest, I thought they might be reverse ops here, but they weren't when I arrived, and you kind of have to go with the prevailing weather. So ooh la la. So a couple of things that I knew I got to mention before I started getting excitable. So let's do some hellos. Ali Bye, how you doing buddy? I'll respond to your email later mate. I caught that just as I was setting up. Hope all is good with you. And let's have a look. Our Emirates A380 just north of Budapest, estimated arrival time 12:37. Yeah, I think we'll take that, because the way the show will work, all being well, is we'll get to see the departure as well. So a nice double whammy. Political bias, good morning to you sir. Hope things are good with you. Nell, congratulated you on joining us, but I'm going to welcome you as a viewer and a moderator. And that actually takes me to the next bit. I think we've got a full house of moderators, so thank you one and all. It's a big time commitment, as anybody who's ever moderated knows, and no show is a show without its moderators. And I don't just mean from the sort of keeping it ticking on, but makes the show. So Alibi 58 to give you a full title, Ken Alloway, Nell W, Gopey Dorp, can't give me words out, I'm fatigued from the journey. Thank you all four. Formidable quad. Right, where was I? I was busy getting all excitable. Alexandra Wood, good morning to you. Not sure if we've said hi before, so I suppose I've had to open the show in a more formal way. So anybody that hasn't met me, I'm Mark, the, if you like, the public face of Plain Sailing Aviation, the channel that I run with my son Eddie. So I'm here on my lonesome Glasgow today. Weather at the minute okay, we'll come to the weather report in a bit. Eddie, how goes it son? We were, just as an aside, down at East Midlands Airport on Friday night. We did muse on scooting round to join Mac Aviation for a little bit on his live stream. Got to take my hat off to him. It was teeing it down as far as I could see. Pretty hardcore. Anyway, let's have a look. Some technical issue with emojis. Eddie's on that just as well really, because that's, if you were hoping I'd be able to solve it, it might be a longer wait. Okay, so yes, you're right. Eddie and I did try to do a private test on this, but it won't let you use the emojis in that way. So we tried to set up a private chat between ourselves with a stream, and it just wouldn't work. Oh dear. Oh, and now the case is cracked. Brilliant. Thanks, Fennell, on that one. Paul Usher, good morning. How are you? Christopher Boys, welcome to you, and welcome back. I know I've said hi to you before. Audrey, of course I know Audrey. Welcome, Audrey. Hope all is good. Peter E, are you watching this from a sunbed in Benidorm? Either which way, buddy. Good to have you with us. JRS Aviation, you're at Glasgow Airport as well. Let's have a look-see, because there's some folks on a mound to my right. JRS Aviation, give us a wave. I'm here, waving. No, nobody's waving that way. Well, as folks generally know, I'm majoring failing to observe what might be quite obvious to others. JRS, just zoom in on the mound and I will wave. Fantastic. We're going to the mound, folks. So I'm on one of the mounds, and over there is the other. There you go. And there's JRS Aviation. And it looks like you've got the best seat in the house, my friend. That must be the Parker Knoll of benches. Good stuff. I think there's a few people here, either and thither, probably trying to at least catch the 380 and maybe it's a bit more. Right, let's get back to the chat. What a fantastic attendance. Andrew NUFC, how you doing, buddy? Tough weekend on the football front, I'm thinking, but I don't want to talk about the football from the weekend, so I just note that as a conversational point. Simon Kirby, how you doing, Mucker? Alibi 58, welcome to the aviator class. I think I'm caught up. For a minute I thought the screen had froze. JRS says his friend is coming later. Good stuff. It's a lovely place, this. I mean, it's a little bit of a jaunt for anyone that's in Northumberland or further south, but I think it's a jaunt worth making. I'll have a quick look, see, check there's nothing about to come in, and I'm cheerfully not paying attention. So I hope everybody's having a good Sunday. I don't think I've missed anybody in the chat. If I have, I'll apologise, because it's never my intention. Yeah, I think you're right, Andrew NUFC. Sometimes you just have to chalk it off as a bad day at the office, don't you? Well, you guys do. For us, I'd say it's a typical day at the office. I'll not let Simon Kirby buzz in on that particular point. So yes, we've got a decent selection of action, I think, here during the course of the show, and then I'll put it all in the box and then shoot off up the, is it the M8 or the M9? My Scottish friends on the chat will put me correct. I'm going to say M8 to Edinburgh, and then we'll plug it all back in again and hopefully get some decent action. So when I did the weather forecast this morning, I was all excitable, sort of saying 10% chance of rain. You know, we always like those odds, don't we? Sometimes it comes off, sometimes it don't. Just checked when I was setting up, because over, let's have a look, you can probably tell in the background, that looks like it might be raining over there. I'm sure there's a wind change due. I'm sure it was going to be an easterly, whereas I think, by my crude directional sense, I think we're still on a southwesterly. Certainly they were taking off from runway 23 when I arrived, but I think we could be in between states, because look at that. It's almost like there's no wind. So anyway, I think the revised forecast is a probability of rain being no greater than 40%. So that's not quite so good. I think as long as it doesn't come down cats and dogs, we'll be okay. But in terms of action, 52 movements, 25 arrivals, 27 departs. I think we're gaining a Bombardier Global Express bizjet that was due in just before the show started, now due just after 1 o'clock. So that brought a big smile to yours truly's face. Emirates 380, star of the show, looks like it's running several minutes early, so we'll take that. And whilst runway 23 is in operation, which was the case last time we were here, so we'll be looking down towards Clydebank and Renfrew further round to the right. Somebody's on finals, so I'm going to get back to concentrating on what's happening. And thanks Alibi 58, Lufthansa A380 from, glare on the screen, Frankfurt. That's the plane that's opening the show. Just need to get my eye in on landmarks. And there she is. I mean, for as cloudy as it is, it's a pretty nice spring day, I reckon. Oops, sorry folks, not got my foot marks right. That was the cricket equivalent on my part of standing on your wicket. So there we go, first one home. I'm quite fond of this spot. If there's one thing that would make it better is to be able to have a proper view of the terminal. But you can't have it all, can you? So let's just rest the camera on my beloved BizJet. Political bias. Welcome to the exec lounge, mate. We'll get the biscuits out. Reminds me, I've left my biscuits in the car. It's terrible, Ken, isn't it, really? Clumping around in my hiking boots, treading on everything. Oh dear. Sorry if it's giving you a quick neck, folks, from the screen jumping. Kind of stuff you can't make up, really. Now, let's have a look. So, alibis on arrivals. Back to the footy. Simon saying nothing, got Man United today. Just don't know which way that one would go. You'd expect it to go with Man United, but it's that end of the season now, isn't it? I think they had a disappointing result midweek. Or relatively disappointing result, so maybe it's, I don't know, you never know, you kick up the pants and all that. Dopey Gulp, a little fragile this morning. Very good. I take it the anniversary celebrations did themselves justice. Right, scooching back into the chat. JRS Aviation, your gran and grandad are watching the stream. Could I give them a shout out? Of course I can. Gran and grandad, or JRS Aviation's gran and grandad. Hello and welcome. Pleasure to have you with us. Oh, Ken, the full Scottish breakfast, that's done at 10 o'clock, mate. We're working on it. We are working on it. Tony McCall, how you doing, buddy? So just casting my eye around. There was something I knew I got to make a reference to on what the devil's that noise mean? Quick shout out as well to Liam Murphy. I don't know if you're on duty today, Liam. Previously, well, folks who've been on this show at Glasgow will know that Liam works in the tower as an air traffic services assistant and was joining us on his breaks last time. So I thought it would be polite to say hi as we're in the parish. Mike Wild, hello buddy, all the way over there in Warrington. Yes, the 380 is due in, last we looked, at about 12:37, and then with all things being equal, we rather hope to catch it departing at, if memory serves me, 14:45. So good stuff. We are looking forward to that, but there's also a decent body of other action, although curse of the commentator, he's set up and there's a bit of a pause in play. Alibi 58 confirms we've got an easyJet baby bus from Berlin turning onto finals. Let's have a look, get the eye in. Yep, just got it, Alibi. Doesn't matter which airport we go to, I think the difference between the call and me seeing it is always roughly the same period of time. Fantastic. Right, so some action imminent, folks. A few more people starting to turn up as well. Quite a lot of cars parked up along the periphery. Not the kind of crowds that folks will recollect from the return of the 380 the other week, but yeah, it's kind of reminiscent to Newcastle really when the Emirates 777 arrives. Particularly in the summer, you tend to find a lot of cars start to arrive. Right, let's have a quick whiz to the right. I'll do it steady, folks, don't want to crick your necks, and I certainly don't want to kick the tripod again. So let's show off my geographical knowledge, because I didn't know this last time, as those who were here last time will know. The iconic John Brown shipyard crane. Do love a spot of history. So Clyde Bank there. A bit further round Renfrew. And where's my marker for the plane? There we go. Number 2 of the show. All the way in from Berlin. Well, the windsock has gently started to inflate, but it's not showing a change in direction yet. Pretty darn smooth from here. What happened there? Sound seemed to drop for a nanosecond. I do apologise if that was your experience. No godly reason for it that I can see. That's an interesting question Mike Wild poses, answered by Tony McCall about the triple air bridge at gate 30. I think another day when I'm here I'm going to have to arrive 2 or 3 hours earlier and have a proper 360 of the perimeter, because I imagine it being really quite interesting to have a more fuller look. Rest on the exec jet. Somebody might bless us with a departure. Michelle Johnson, good afternoon to you. Hope you're keeping well. Thanks Alibi for the tip. Hey, Loganair Embraer ERJ 145 from Southampton on finals, and it really is finals. It's starting to rain a little bit now. Oh, rain, tiniest of spots. Tell you what, this shotgun mic picks the sound up good. I don't know if you can hear the sound of running. I thought it was somebody running up the mound behind me as the sound came back through the headphones. So good afternoon to anybody who has joined the show very recently. I'm Mark, your host, Plain Sailing Aviation. We are on air till 3 o'clock. It'll be a smart finish at 3, maybe slightly earlier if we've got the 380 back up in the air and there's no action incoming, because we have pop-up action from Edinburgh at 5 o'clock. So I need to get my act together, get back to the car, scooch down the M8. Quite looking forward to that. Right, back to the chat. Sorry if I've missed anybody. Cathay Spotter, good afternoon here now, I think. I'm not sure, Cathay, where you are. I can't quite remember. I know we've met before in the chat. Either which way, hello. It really is a global thing, isn't it? Dwayne Curley, good afternoon to you. Well, Dwayne, the good news is about memberships, they're dead easy to do. Eddie will give you all the pointers in the chat. I believe there's a button that you can click on. And Alibi58, thanks Muka. Yes, please folks, do help us out with YouTube. Give us a like and consider subscribing. And of course, if you subscribe, it's also a cracking idea to hit the notification bell so that you get all the latest news and things that we publish, notifications of live streams and so forth. The fantastic news is they don't cost you anything, and it helps the channel massively with YouTube. Equally, from today, we're proud to be able to offer memberships, so people have another way of supporting the channel. Like I say, I'm not going to do a hard sell on air. I just need to remind people that option is available, and then you can make your own mind up once you click on the button. Clicking on the button doesn't oblige you to anything. You basically just get to see what you get with each of the 2 levels. So you make your own minds up on that one. We'd love to have you with us. Crikey, this is a tricky tag for me to say out loud. YT_Rye4N. Is it Ryan? Is it from South Wales? Good afternoon, buddy. I don't think we've said hello before. So I'm Mark, pleased to meet you. Dwayne Curley confirms 25 minutes to the 380. I just can't wait. That's what I could think about this morning on my way up here. Well, I lied, 2 things. That and thinking please don't rain. I think between those 2 things, I think I'm a happy camper. So what we got over here, lots of small planes, lots of tiddlers. There we go, look at them. All lined up beautifully. I wonder if we'll get to see any of that during the course of the show. Fingers crossed. So I've just had a quick scroll through, check I've not missed anybody out of the chat. I was saying what a nice spring day it was. It just feels like it's turned down a tidge. but I suppose that's consistent with the increased probability of rain. Like I say, if you go behind, not so good. That looks a bit rainy to me. But if you go further round, which is roughly where the wind is coming from, Linwood, that direction, looks, I think, appreciably lighter. So let's just see how we play. So hope everybody's having a good weekend. Let's go back to the tiddlers. You can argue, as it's only Sunday lunchtime, there is still plenty of weekend left to be had. Tony McCall, good. Welcome to the aviator class, buddy. Fantastic to have you with us. Nice one, pal. I've not stopped grinning since I got here. Now you'd have to think, wouldn't you, Ken, that someone's going to take one of those up this afternoon. What's Sunday afternoon for? If not taking your own plane up for a spin. So a quick butchers while I'm in the zone. See what's potentially transponding on the deck. Oh, I hate it when flight radar defaults to where you were last. I say that tongue-in-cheek because sometimes it's extremely convenient, but yeah, Newcastle is what's showing on my home screen. So somebody is on finals, isn't there? That's are they overflying us? Overflying us, I'm thinking perhaps just a bit. No, it's the British Airways. Airways what? A320? Not sure. A320 incoming from Gatwick. What was catching my eye was another BA plane that was transponding on the deck, which just shows us Glasgow to Glasgow. And a bit of Ryanair action, which you'll have seen. Your inattentive host didn't. So I can see the incoming A320. We'll track this Ryanair, which is off the Rocklaw. Let's say it that way, Rocklaw, Poland. And the bird song hasn't skipped a beat, has it? We'll pull away from this in a jiffy. I think it's going to have to hold given where the British Airways incoming plane is. Right, there we go. I do like the idea of being back here in May, possibly June, under a floppy hat and t-shirt from here. Can't see me in flip-flops here, but spotting in a floppy hat and t-shirt, yeah. We'll stay with us till it vacates. I think we were able to do that. No, we aren't, are we? You think I'd know that? Right. Rocklaw, here we go. Finger on the trigger. Dopey Gorp just gifted a plain sailing membership. Thank you so much, buddy. Awesome support. I mean, I apologise if I've missed it anywhere else, but I think you may be our first gifter of membership. Fantastic. First departure of the show. Countdown is on to the 380, folks. All the while I can see people coming from the side of my eye line. I won't zoom in on, folks, but you can see the general procession of people. It's the same the other side. Oh, I can hear a turboprop. You can probably hear it. Ah, here we go. Scotland's finest in Scotland. Now, I have a hunch, and I'm probably wrong. Is that a Sal 340? We're probably back into that not showing on flight radar, aren't we? Just fired off a quick snap, so I'm sorry I froze your screens for a nanosecond. So I'd imagine this gets to go straight away. So that'll be up pretty crisply, no doubt. Lovely. second departure of the show. Anyway, folks, sorry I'm not in the chat for a minute. I know things will be running and rolling, rocking and rolling, regardless. So let's just rest on the BizJet. Catching up. Dopey Gorp, words right. Dopey Gorp very kindly gifting a membership. That is fantastic. And Cathay Spotter was the recipient of that. So I'm sure Cathay, you've spotted that in the chat. As we always say, it's always nice to give thanks and acknowledgements in the world of gifting. I believe that's how we do it. Fantastic. Audrey McDonald, welcome to the Exec Lounge. Deary me, I'm as excited now as I was about the A380, and I'm telling you, that's at a high level of excitement. Welcome. I did have to break the news to Ken earlier on though, that at this time of day it's probably more tea and biscuits. A full breakfast, they finish that at 10 o'clock. Oh, it's just fantastic. Nell, you're right. I think the birds in the background, just, yeah, I love it. Bit of bird song. I feed the birds at home, to be honest, so a bit of bird song around kind of lifts the soul. I'm with you, Andrea Wood. I do love a prop. But then again, you see, you put a big jet in front of me. I love that too. Just love planes. Andy P, welcome back, mate. How's tricks? Scooching through the chat, trying to catch up. Nell, you're right. Glasgow's got it all. I'll be honest with you, looking at folks up here with their kids watching, I mean, they're probably some of them waving off relatives, I don't know, but me and Eddie back in the day used to be down East Midlands Airport regularly on a Sunday afternoon, and I think there's more interesting traffic during the daytime here. Not that we didn't have fun. Oh dear. Audrey, it's more yippieing at this end. Good afternoon, Tina York. Hope you are well. So let's have a quick casting of the eye around the horizon and my trusty friend Flight Radar. So relatively small number of minutes till we get the 380 in. We still have that British Airways outgoer. I think it's an outgoer, but it's just shown as Glasgow to Glasgow, so might be having a drive around. It's a 320, so we had a 320 in from Gatwick a short while ago. This one's still bleeping away, but to what effect, Lord alone knows. Somebody else on finals. Bartolini Air. Oh, I do love a BizJet. Have I mentioned that? Of course I have. A Cessna 525 Citation CJ1. I can see it, so let's go to it, folks. Can't beat a bit of Cessna Citation. I'm sure we'll have some kind of BizJet emoji as soon as YouTube allows us a higher number. Initially you're restricted to 4, I think it is. In fact, no it is. Oops. Give me the citation. This is the point really where we would have liked the plain sailing aviation banner to be trailed out from the back. Get your membership today. But either which way, watch us, please. See, that is arriving in style, isn't it? I suppose it's all a question of scale, isn't it? On the way here I passed the Greypool Ferrari dealership and I was just musing on what their typical customer looks like. I went for the sort of stereotype of a procession of footballers buying and upgrading their cars incessantly. But this is on another level altogether, isn't it? Your own jet. Leased or owned. It's still really hefty. think what the experience would be like. None of the usual stuff you get when you fly scheduled, when you're in a queue of people to get off the plane and to get on it actually, the other side of things. Yeah, must be luxury. I suppose it's supposed to be, isn't it? Right, that British Airways A320 that was flagged Glasgow to Glasgow now is flagged Glasgow to Heathrow, transponding away, and I think if I rotate to the left I ought to be in time to catch it for us. I don't want to get any early telescopes from Alibi 58 and Ken Alloway. They're totally ruthless with such things. So welcome to anybody that has just joined us. A very warm welcome. Good afternoon to you. Welcome to Plain Sailing Aviation's second live stream from Glasgow International Airport. On air till 3 o'clock. That's going to include the fairly imminent, it's not far away now at all, Emirates A380. Small number of minutes away, and we'll also get that going out at about 3:15. So hope you'll choose to spend the afternoon with us, and if you can't do all of it, some of it will be great. As always, if you like what you see, please do hit the like button, and if you're not yet subscribed, Bird Patrol, if you're not yet subscribed and you like what you see, please do consider subscribing. Neither of those things cost you anything, helps us a lot. And of course, if you're subscribing, good idea they tell me to hit the notification bell. Excuse me, I just swallowed a midge. It reminds me of that child's poem, I swallowed a fly. Oh, never mind. And of course, from today we've also got the option on memberships, so you can see that button I believe on your screen, but that is now live and up and running. 2 levels, aviator class and exec lounge. So something else to consider if you'd like to support the channel. In the meantime, we will follow British Airways as it makes its way down towards the sharp end of runway 23. This will be our next action. I don't think anything is going to arrive before the 380. So stand by folks, go nowhere. Whatever else you've got planned. Just checking the live chat, but it seems to have gone, so I do apologise if there is something that requires me to look at it. Let's just see if I can coax it back to life. It's quite a good signal spot this, so it can't be signal related. Here we go, we're back. Jamie's World. Hello my friend. Am I in Glasgow often? Just saw your question, jumped out for me. No mate, it's long and short, but we are gonna be. So this is our second live stream from here, and as a location we absolutely love it. So yeah, you're gonna see us more frequently here, especially as the weather warms up a little bit. As I'm fond of saying in the chat, I'm an Esh Midlander at heart. So I have to be wrapped up well. Back to your question, Jamie's World. We tend to do Newcastle and Edinburgh as home base. More Newcastle, I suppose, for that one, and quite frequently it's Edinburgh, which we are doing a live stream pop-up this evening 5 till 7 by coincidence, but we are back there in the morning for a full live stream from about 7:45. I can hear something exciting. a nervous look over my shoulder there. I thought if the A380 sneaks in while I'm zoned on the helicopter. Grab H. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the chat. Right, so let's try and pick up on the chat. So folks have just taken us away from the chopper, well, foolishly. Sorry about all that fencing, but there you go. What's your name? What's your name? Yep, that's Daniel in the background, just telling me the 380 is on finals. Showtime. Ali, good afternoon to you, mate. Welcome back to the show. Excellent, we've got visual, folks. Right, so let's have a look. Is there anything else I'm missing? Probably, but do bear with me. I get one of those excitement overloads. Righty-ho. So, lots of people joining, so anybody that is new to this, I'm Mark, your host of Plain Sailing Aviation. Pleasure to have you with us. Here is our headline act, Emirates A380, on its way in from Dubai. Folks will be aware that this service recently restarted in March, I think it was. A welcome sight. Anyway, I'm Mark, your host, and we'll be on air till 3 o'clock, inclusive of the departure of this beauty. Let's just pray it gets turned around on time. Kind of looks implausible that these things can actually fly when you look at the heft. Ubiquitous car alarms bleeping in the background, at least one. Thought they might treat us to the new livery. Can't complain though. Fantastic. And now we've got some high-speed runway checks. Like one of those American cop shows, isn't it? Crikey, I've just took a sneaky look at my watch. We're nearly an hour into the show. I genuinely have little concept of time when I'm down at the airport. Right, I'm going to have a quick check, see how the power is running. And of course a quick look into the chat. Oh, Ken Alloway, getting those emojis in. Nice one, mate. Plane of the day. Rab H, I'm inclined to agree, mate. Sound is just fantastic. Do I love that plane? Although, as you know, I love a lot of planes. Janelle, sorry I missed your entry into the chat. Hope you're keeping well. Easy E, pleasure to have you with us. Ryan Pounder, welcome back. Crikey, there's lots of familiar faces. And there's me, a mile and a half behind. Another familiar face, Philip Almond. Hello, buddy. Awesome, entirely agree. Les Donaldson, welcome back, sir. I hope you're not working, or you are at that back end of the day. Fiona A, welcome to you. Skull TBD. The new livery A380 was here on Monday. Yeah, I think sooner or later I'll catch one as they roll the livery out. I think I'd have been acing it to have got that today as well. Zooming on down the chat. Yeah, I think I'm largely caught up. So if I'm not, please remind me. I always welcome a little prod. Good stuff. Couldn't decide if that was somebody's exhaust blowing or whether it was one of those go faster ones, or the ones that sound like they're going faster. Alibi, thank you, mate. easyJet A320 on finals. So I've got one of my eyes on the far horizon. Just have a quick look, see what's transponding. There looks like there's something else on the deck. Yeah, it's going to be that one in, one out. So we have a easyJet outgoing flight. I'm sure it's a baby bus, I can't quite tell. Yeah, baby bus. I guess it's the one that we had earlier on its way to Stansted, pinging away. But I think our incoming flight will probably move into view first. Keep an eye on that. Gives me a chance to sneak back into the chat, really, doesn't it? Simon Kirby, you can't help yourself, can you? What, the break in London that I never got? I had my nice break in Leicestershire.
That's the new on-site, by the way.
Sorry?
That's the new on-site aircraft you could get. Belfast. The Belfast flight's just in sight.
All right, fantastic. Cheers, buddy. Daniel's just tipped me off. We've got visual now on the incoming baby bus. Oh, the baby bus is the outgoing one, isn't it? Ignore my ramblings. The main thing is we have our incomer. I know it sounds an elementary error, but you know when you're talking to people, it's always a good idea to take your headphones off. Yeah, it's just a little bit far off to get a clear beam on it. We'll loiter with intent, how's that? Excuse me. Ken Alloway. Crikey, I can't take my eye off the screen. Ken has very generously gifted 5 memberships. So please do thank Ken in the chat if you are a lucky recipient of a membership. Ken, thank you so much, mate. That is really kind. Very staunch supporter of the channel. Incredible generosity. Now if I lose complete focus and composure now, we know why. So this will be the incoming Belfast flight. This is the moment where I kind of expected the outgoing easyJet Stansted flight to hove into view, so I'd have continuity. What an exciting day. A380s, helicopters popping out of nowhere. We were excited about launching memberships, pop-up stream. If I'm bleary-eyed in the chat tomorrow for tomorrow's stream from Edinburgh, that's because we're still suffering from excessive excitement. Right, I think I can hear that 320 on the move, so let's just loiter. Terry Slater, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for your kind words. Pleasure to have you with us, mate. Pleasure to be here. Mauro Desi, good afternoon to you. Welcome to the chats. Welcome to the show. I'm Mark, your host. I'll be here till 3 o'clock. You will get to see the A380 go, unless it's delayed in any substantial way. And then we're going to be back on there at 5. So here is our outgoing Stansted flight, baby bus departure. In my foreground I can see some kind of darkened out people mover Galaxy type vehicle by the exec jet that's in my foreground. You'll probably see it in a minute. Just curious if that's a sign of something good, or just them putting the refreshments on the plane. There you go, in the foreground. Of course, last time I was here, veterans of that show will know I got excited about a bizjet that was in the foreground, exactly the same spot, and it stayed there long after I'd gone. Well, maybe not long after, but long enough after. I better say shout out to my mum and dad. Hi mum and dad. They said they were checking out the show, folks. I've discovered they do follow us, which you might say, well, why does that surprise you? But I don't know. It's always nice, isn't it, when your mum and dad take an interest. Crikey, thank you Nell W. Just catching up with the likes, because as usual mine is stuck on 14. For some reason this always seems to stop on 14. Perhaps I should use that on my lottery ticket. 14 and 1 and 4, of course, that gives me 4 numbers. And 41, well, I can see something fairly eccentric being cobbled together. Wow, cracking. Thank you folks, awesome support. And of course, if you're not yet subscribed, please do consider subscribing. Both likes and subscriptions help with the way that YouTube promote and cost you nothing. Heading off towards Linwood. To be fair, I only know that because I looked it up on the map just before the show. So I'm not trying to infer some kind of heightened local knowledge. This is still very much a new one for me. Good news is the cloud on the far horizon seems to be lightening, I think. So although it had said 40% chance of rain, maybe we're going to be a bit luckier. I think when we get to Edinburgh later this afternoon, we're back to that bog standard 10%. I think it's reverse ops as well, so hopefully you'll join us for that. Eee. Yeah, just looking at Ken here. Do those of you that have taken memberships, do spank the emojis. Let's see what they do. I can't wait till we get to one of those places that, you know, the bit where we can expand the range, because we've got a number of emojis that we'd like to introduce. But what we're going to do as well is we will consult our exec lounge members on that one too. But saying that, anybody in the chat at any time, whether you're a member or whether you're not, if you've got an emoji idea that you'd like us to consider when we are able to expand, we'll be delighted to look at it. We are a people-led channel. Oh, fantastic, Nell, 100 likes. Woo. Right, brilliant. Now I've got all those adrenaline surges. Yeah, Michelle giving the emojis a good workout. How's tricks in the control room, Eddie? So for those of you who don't know, we're a father and son team. It's usually me that's on camera and airside. Eddie joined me at Dublin the other weekend, and he's very much our editor and backstage mover and fixer. Right, let's have a look, see what's occurring now. Well, no, flight radar has. Oh, it's bath time here. Let's do some frivolous. Yeah, it's gone shy on me now. The bird was bathing away furiously. But I think it's probably saying, like, you're not getting any privacy around here. Oh, dearie me. Right, well, we'll let the bird concentrate on toweling down. Just going to rest there for the minute. So, Ken Alloway, have you got anything good out at Prestwick today? I see plenty. What do I see here? Not plenty, do I? I see one. I see something transponding, an Airbus. Looks like Lufthansa are not long before they're going to be rolling out, which will be nice. Having a quick butcher's. Loganair. I bet that's been called in the chat. Sorry, I'm always a little bit behind the curve. But looks like we've got an ERJ145 from Exeter. After a small number of minutes away. Just about to turn. So with a bit of luck, that'll come in just as our Lufthansa starts to make itself shown, which will be fantastic. Thank you, Easy E. Dopey Gorp, thank you again, mate. You are a true star. Just gifted a plain sailing aviation membership, so if you are the lucky recipient, please do share the love with Dopey Gorp. Fantastic, buddy. And that is actually Fiona A. Well done, Fiona A. Now, I'll let Eddie respond to that one. I'm not sure he sees himself in the Backstreet Boy type mode. Although next time we do a stream together, I'll see if I can encourage him to do some moves on camera. I'm thinking, I don't think he'll do that. And we, Michelle, do love the birds. I've got a feeding station out in the back garden, which, when the squirrels aren't being a pest, does draw the birds in. Eddie, no worries, mate. I know you're hard at it. I don't know. This is a spoiler alert. So when you click on the join, or to find out about the membership offer, you get to see a video which Eddie and I were shooting together at the Radisson Blu Hotel, actually, yesterday. I did say that we couldn't publish it unless Eddie could make me look at least 40. So I don't know, we could be working on that for some time. But I'm thinking that might be one of the videos. I don't know if that one's up yet or not. So Ken, talking about Prestwick, a few Ryanairs, Royal Canadian Air Force C-130 Hercules. Nice. I think the transponding issue, Simon, with Loganair seems to predominantly be an issue when they're on the deck, does it not? Or to do with this lack of multilateration, if I can remember Tony McCall's much more eloquent explanation, and the type of transponder box that they currently have in most of their planes. Oh, you've got to get some flowers, Dopey Gorp. Listen, mate, we'll see you when we see you. Get them flowers. Mrs. Dopey Gorp has got to be celebrated and acknowledged correctly, mate. Crikey. Yes, Michelle, a bit of singing and dancing. Courtesy of Eddie. You do not want to see me dancing, and you've already had some, well, you may not have, but other stalwarts of the show have heard me attempt to strike a note previously. It's best not done. As I'm fond of reminiscing, it's like the old Morecambe and Wise sketch, isn't it, with Andre Previn, where he says, I'm playing all the right notes, but not necessarily in the right order. Well, that's a bit how I sing. So, weather looks like, I said it was lightning. Now that's in lightning sky, not lightning. Wind is still fairly modest. I still think that's something a bit like a southwesterly, but I may have lost my geographical sense. We are awaiting an Embraer 145 in Loganair colours, imminent. Rainer, good afternoon, buddy. Welcome to the show. Hope things are good in Berlin. Hang on, Simon Kirby says, Eddie, you're not too old for a clip round the ear. Yeah, I'm thinking that. Oh yeah, I see where you're going with that one. There's no tool on the market to make me look 40. Do the best you can, Eddie. Let's just take a look down towards Clydebank. Get the camera roughly in the right place. Avoid giving you whiplash when we get round to the business end of it. So there you go, that is approximately Clydebank. For anyone that's recently joined the show, let me show off my recently acquired local knowledge. John Brown Shipyard, well, world renowned, or was, but I think like shipbuilding in the UK, well, probably has gone the same way as the rest of it, sadly. Yeah, I'm with you, Easy E. I mean, I don't come here very often, but as I was saying earlier, I'm going to be putting that wrong right. Oh, pilot looks like he might be having a walk around, is he? Or is it somebody having a... Let's just quickly have a rest here. No, it's not a pilot having a walk around. It's somebody doing some mate ready. I will take us back to Scotland's finest, which is on finals at the minute. Rainer's got the coffee out by the look of his emojis. let's go to the action. Yeah, still Great North Star at the minute. Trying to work the camera a bit too hard. It's coming from that way. Ah, thank you, Andy P. The question that was forming in my head is the one that you've very kindly posted. What was built there? And Queen Mary and the QE2 being some significant notables. Fantastic. It's lovely to see those kind of Pathé newsreels, you know, with the big ships at the dock being built and launched and so forth. Kind of funny really, the 380's in and the crowds have dispersed a little bit. There's still quite a few people loitering about, whether they're staying to see it depart or just watch planes or waiting to just wave relatives off, I don't know. Generally at Newcastle I tend to find that once the 777's in, the people that have turned up to see it come in largely disperse. That's certainly been my experience. While I've got you in the chat, Eddie, have you got the answer to the other question I posed about Twitter? Thank you, Alibi. HMS Hood, another iconic warship, also built in Clydebank. Oop, crikey. Thinking you miss it. I've got this horrible idea the hood was sunk, and I can't remember which ship did that. Is it the Bismarck or the other one, the Turkeys? I can't quite remember. It's for a direct hit on the magazine or similar. Fantastic piece of engineering, and the scale of these things. I mean, these days it's all about aircraft carriers, and you could probably argue then that for the investment in an aircraft carrier, their vulnerability is pretty significant. Well, I think this will be on its way. Assuming that's back to Frankfurt. Just looking at my indicator, 28 minutes on the battery, so we'll change the battery probably just before 1:30. Ah, lovely. Where to go? Let's go. I think we're fueling up our BizJet, so think I can hear something in the background, I just can't see it. I'll tell you what, just as an aside, and those of you who live near Glasgow will know this, but it kind of, I think I spotted this last time and reminded myself today. There's a jet garage not far from here selling 4-star unleaded at £1.40 a litre, which, gotta be honest, that's a lot cheaper than what I found down in Leicestershire on Friday and Saturday, and indeed Northumberland. So needless to say, before I get to Edinburgh, I'll be gassing up. Good. So I'm just noting Andy P's comments. I'm guessing if I pan the camera around, I'll not be able to take you to where the shipbuilding is now. Just a little look-see. Don't worry, folks. So there we go, John Brown Shipyard. We're talking about the QE2 Queen Mary and the Hood, HMS Hood, former Royal Navy. And then I think if you go round, I think loosely by my recently acquired geography, you get round to Renfrew. And then I'm geographically defunct, but at least you can see the wider view as I pan round. And then this rather fetching purple brick style industrial unit. It looks like one of those data type rooms, if I'm honest, although who really knows. Uh-oh. Yeah, I've got good signal here, but I'm now feeling intensely worried. Let me just check everything. Power. We should be golden, but if two of you have got that dreaded circle of death, I don't know. Certainly excitement we don't want. Oh, please come out this afternoon. Right, thanks Andy P. So the purple building is kind of obscuring the view. Yeah, if I actually crane round further, I can see what looks like industrial buildings. Okay, Ken, we'll just have to see your feedback on the signal. Like I say, here it must have been something momentary, because a quick check on speeds shows them as good as when we started. I think that was one of the things I liked last time, and our signal strength is double that since, with bonding, etc. It's a pretty good spot. So we have one of those little pauses in play, which is generally the fate of streamers outside of the hotspot airports of well, Heathrow primarily, I suppose, Manchester to an extent. Well, the main thing is our BizJet looks to have been gassed. Yeah, it would be nice to see this go. I'm going to put battery change forward. Let's do it now. So you know the drill. Screen will go blank and I'll switch it over. And then we're back. Yeah, Michelle, that should be the battery change. If it's not that, it may be into different territory. Andy P says Alex Ferguson and Billy Connolly worked at Govan. I knew Billy Connolly did. I didn't know Alex, so Alex did. See, that's back in the days, isn't it, when footballers actually started off doing something else first, rather than being academy from sort of 6 years of age through to whenever. Carl Shield, good afternoon to you. Hope all is good in Dublin. Nell W, thank you so much. The Bombardier Global Express from Paphos going into finals. Good stuff. Now that's the BizJet that was due to go or come in just before the show started. So delighted with that. Alan Simpson, good afternoon to you. I think this place is very much a hidden gem. That would be my verdict. I mean, it works out the best part of 150 miles each way for me, I think, something in that region. But it is doable and it's worth the effort. Just catching up on the chat. Easy E, joining us from Reno. 5:13 in the morning. Well, you know what to say about the early bird? That is early though, isn't it? So I'm just literally waiting for something to happen, folks. So I do appreciate your patience. One of those dreaded pauses in action. Has this place not got a train station? Looking at Carl's comments. I mean, I've never tried to travel to Glasgow airport as a air passenger. Would seem odd. Let's just pan the camera around to the left, folks, so you can get a general feel for what's over there. So there is the Scottish Ambulance Services. I think it's their headquarters. I'm going to guess it probably is. Either which way, it's their terminal building here. To the side of them, I think it's like Gamma Aviation, familiar to many of us as a purveyor of all kinds of BizJets. And then over in yonder space is the general direction of the terminal building. It's a relatively short tower here. I'm trying to remind myself how short. I've got the idea in my head it could be as short as 15 metres. But I am getting forgetful. So I have made a note of that one. Yeah, apparently 15 metres. The runway itself being 2,665 metres long. So best part of 300 metres longer than Newcastle, which is where we do much of our streaming. So one of the reasons why you can get the A380 in here without any real dramas. So yeah, that's best part of 2,600 metres. Oh, that's sad looking at Tony McCall's comment, because it kind of joins it up. I think we'd all appreciate that, but that is the problem, isn't it, when it comes to funding cuts. I mean, when I travel up here, one of the things I kind of notice, and I'm not saying it's perfect over the border, but I think the roads are worse from my home in Northumberland coming up here than they are once I get over the border. But I suppose it's like all of these questions of funding, isn't it? Different priorities in different places. But I think a railway station seems to be a miss. How you doing, Paul Rusher? Hope you're keeping well, mate. We are just filling out a little bit of time between the next bit of action. Hit one of those gaps in play. I think when I checked on flight radar last night, I wasn't expecting anything more than 15 minutes. Which, if you're doing Newcastle, it's that's the kind of thing you have to live with from time to time. But no, I think it is going to be the easyJet that Nell was alerting us to. The Bombardier Global Express from Paphos, operated by Bestfly. Don't try the rest, try the best. I'll tell you what, I'm going to also use this moment to give the Normandy Hotel a shout out. Same as last time I was here, staff absolutely fabulous. So they've let me park to do the show and everything. I'm not actually staying there tonight, but yeah, first class. It would have got my business, but with a later start today, it just didn't seem, I thought I got enough time to travel. Okay, wind just fluttering up a bit, but now to right home about. So, next action, mere seconds away, folks. I've got visual, and behind that, so we're back to back, so that's good news. We've got, and I know it'll been called in the chat, sorry folks, we're in flight radar. The easyJet 320 from Bristol. Good stuff. So, continuity. It's interesting, the 380 is still bleeping away. So, let's have a look. There we go. Bestfly. Certainly if you've been having a nice few days in Cyprus and you don't fancy all the usual airport hassles, this has got to be the way to do it. Very leisurely. Don't want to spill his tea. Lovely. I bet that was a hell of a smooth ride in the cab. Right, easyJet should be visible now, I'm thinking, and they are. So right, back to back action, folks. So good afternoon to anybody that's recently joined us. For anyone that doesn't know who I am, I'm Mark, your host for Plain Sailing Aviation. So welcome to the show. Thank you for choosing to spend Sunday afternoon with us, or some of it. We are on air till 3 o'clock, and that will include the departure of the A380. So some nice big jet action to settle back and enjoy. Hope Sunday's being kind to you. And of course, if you like what you see, please do hit that button. Better yet, subscribe and like. So for anybody that missed my gentle nudge, Edinburgh, 5 o'clock tea time, we have a pop-up show. Nice way to settle down, have a bite to eat, cup of tea. Only a couple of hours and it will be dead on 2 hours. There's quite a lot of action, and as we're doing an Edinburgh show tomorrow morning, we figured we'd lay on a pop-up. Hopefully that meets with people's approval. Just want to shout out as well for our fantastic mods, all 4 in the show today. Ken Alloway, Alibi 58, Dopey Gorp, Mel W, and my lad Eddie, he's posting in the chat under Plain Sailing Aviation, our editor. But mods definitely need a standout shout out. It's no easy thing to do. I've modded myself, and I admire everybody that does it. Right, I see something which looks very turbo-ish. I bet it's been shouted in the chat, so I'll not double on that. If memory serves me, I think it's probably an Aer Lingus arrival, but I'm going to lie and say I can remember where it's coming from. I always do a quick reckon up. I don't think it is an Aer Lingus. Maybe Scotland's finest? I sworn I'd seen Aer Lingus. Yes. Aer Lingus. Such great sound. So a shout out as well to everybody that's joined as a member today. We launched the scheme today and it's been fantastic, the response, including the donation of gifted memberships, which is just fantastic. I mean, I wrestle for the right words sometimes. Talking of right words, what right word shall I use for this? I'm going to have to take a picture of it, so I do apologise. You will get that moment of screen stutter. I'll check it out. There we go. I won't check anymore. What's happening next, I'm wondering. Sorry folks, I seem to have lost the chat again, so try and get that back. Of course, it's just dawned on me, that's the incoming Paphos plane, isn't it? I will get there in the end. You can see there's a few bleeping away on the deck. Looks like we've got, I'm guessing it's a 320. So, Glasgow Heathrow flight is transponding away. What else have we got transponding away? That looks like the next outgoer. Let's see if I got my chat back. Looks like I'm going to have to go to my telephone for chat, folks. Sorry if I'm momentarily out of your orbit. Let's just reload it. That's better. Reloading it was the trick. Sorry folks. Martin Gallagher, just seen your name pop up. And who else? Jamie Miller, hello. Jamie Miller, welcome to Aviator class. Crikey, I've only been out the chat for a few minutes, it seems, but oh my lord. If I've missed anybody else, I sincerely apologise. So yes, Quickening Cat, welcome back. Jamie's World, I don't know if Glasgow want to be like Manchester. You know, like, everyone's got their own view, haven't they, as to which is what. I would appreciate the traffic levels, which I'm guessing is the underlying point. Jamie, I'm sorry to hear you're at work itself on a Sunday. Still, hopefully you get some time off in the week. So I'm just catching up with the chats. Said hello to Martin. I think I'm about there. Fantastic. So we scan the horizon, looking for something to move. Oh, BizJet's not moving. I'm pretty sure British Airways is going to be our next bit of action. It's transponding away, I just don't see it moving yet. It's scheduled to go out at 13:35, so 5 minutes off. Don't think we'll be waiting very long for that one. Yeah, I wouldn't like to imagine, Michelle Johnson, what you have to pay for a private jet. I'd love to be able to entertain the idea though. I mean, come on. What's not to like? QC Cat, £2,000 per hour per plane. And there you concisely answer why I really don't know. I don't think there's enough hours left in my life to get into that kind of space. You'll have to excuse me folks, I'm going to reach for a snack bar. I will of course throw it to one side if British Airways start moving. Yeah, no. Yes, it may well be 2k per hour, but the van is a van. Mind you, it might be a very nice van though. And to be fair, you know those buses they put you on if you're on a regular jet? They aren't particularly grand, are they? British Airways are moving. Well, they're moving on my map anyway. Yep. I'll bring the camera straight to heel as soon as it comes into view. As lovely as the Scottish Ambulance Service building is. I think this slightly hazy easyJet shot is better. Now, you need to get your cat subscribing and liking. You need to treat it to a membership. There we go. Some British Airways action, folks. Kind of ironic, that one's off to Heathrow, which is actually where we intended to be today. So we got stumped with the very not tempting offer from the Renaissance Hotel to pay £1,000 to stream from their car park. A little bit too rich. Anyway, it's funny how things work out for the best, isn't it? Because you know, this isn't Heathrow, but this is Glasgow, and yeah, I love being here. It's nice, I think, and I don't know what folks think in the chat, to see something different. I mean, I enjoy watching the LA streams, not as much as I used to, I haven't got the time, if I'm candid, with obviously sorting things for this channel. But equally, when people shake the dice and go somewhere different for a day, it's nice to see too. Up and away. I don't know if you folks can still hear the bird song. I'm still hearing it. You really know you're in spring when they sing like this. Okay, well, that's that waved off. Have a quick look, see what might be worth having a pan at. Nothing on final so I can see. I'm just going to rest the camera towards the terminal building, have a quick look in the chat. I have to say, that's the least lovely view here. Michelle, it more or less does sound like a Granta Park, doesn't it? It's not that really. I suppose they're thinking that if I film something exciting and sell it to somebody else, it has commercial value. But it kind of misses the point that most YouTube channels aren't cash making machines. Yeah, Tony, I think it is that. And there's no live streamer going to pay £1,000 for that privilege. They'd either like somebody to come to some sort of arrangement, I don't know, or I don't know, I can't speak for them. I thought he was saying it was £1,000, and then we were building to the bit where he would say, on this occasion we'll waive it. And he really thought that. I was properly gobsmacked when he said, well no, that's £1,000, because, you know, it is punitive in that sense. Whereas of course if Sky or ITN want to do a piece, £1,000, not even the travel and subsistence of the crew this end. It's slightly flippant, but you get the general idea. That looks like the firefighting fuselage, so there must be a fire station somewhere over that side. Ali says British Airways A321 from Heathrow just passed overhead. Roger that, my friend. Well, that's interesting, Tony, because I kind of figured in all of this that they'd think that they wanted their brand promoting and, well, obviously a piece of the pie, or to put people off filming. Is it, I wonder aloud, and I'm just wondering aloud, whether, I mean, I'm imagining that airlines don't like live stream filming planes doing go-arounds and so forth on tricky days weather. Whereas we celebrate the skill of the pilots involved. I suppose they fret that nervous passengers get put off. I don't know. Bobby Livingsworth, good day mate. How goes it? Yeah, Ken, I think that 1K, going back to the point with Tony, I think it just must be to put you off. It worked. I mean, the good news is we will be back there and we'll stream from Myrtle Avenue, a spot I know well there anyway. It just didn't work for us today because they don't switch to Myrtle, I don't think, till 3 o'clock this afternoon. Whereas, yeah, it'll keep. Nell, I'll be honest with you, just hopping back up the chat, yeah, I did think to check that. Am I being pranked? Sometimes you just got to have a sense of humour, don't you, this kind of thing. It proper had me scratching my head. Audrey, I'm just working back up the chat. That sounds most excellent in terms of getting back out there. Well, do let us know how that works out. You know when it feels right, don't you? Yeah, keep us posted. Driveway TV. Free services. I think it probably took about 6 months off my life while I was getting my blood pressure up, thinking this is just a joke. I think the worst of it is, and it does feel like a bit of a, I don't say a punch in the gut, because it's not that, is it? We've stayed there loads over the years, and I know we're just small beer in the scheme of things, but me and my lad were going there when he was a kid. Stay down there, do a bit of plane spotting, those runway facing views and all that, and then something in the other direction. I mean, where'd you draw the line? You know, don't take any pictures from our car park, because it's always saying you can't live stream. What does that mean if you turn up with a long lens? Carl Shield, you've obviously got more money in your wallet than I have in mine. Yeah, the Andy P, is that the one that was in that kind of metal structure, like a, not like a bike shed, like a little tiny football stand type thing? I'll probably find something better to describe it. I don't think you get quite the view that you want for this car. Oh, helicopters go, folks, and there's something on finals. Oh my lord, well they can't all go at once. So let's have the incomer. So this will be our A321 from Heathrow. There's a chopper winding up to go, so I'd imagine that'll be next. I never quite focused on the script on the side, but I'm assuming that is the air ambulance chopper. So we came for the planes, but we're not adverse to the odd helicopter or a tiddler, although the tiddlers all seem parked up. That's where we'll stay for the minute. Sorry about the fencing, folks. Alibi 58 confirms we have a Jet 2 737 on finals. I've got visual. It's running out. The helicopter's getting away. I'll go straight to the Jet 2 as soon as this clears. That's me just firing off a picture. in here, folks. I'd very stupidly just realised I've not put my other battery on charge. It's no biggie, but it would have been. I'd have been short of pop-up power. There'd be no pop in my pop-up stream. Caught the light quite well. Generally does though, doesn't it? That classic Jet 2 look. But they were both in that all white livery, which I can't think I ever see at Newcastle. There's our easyJet in there. Just going to rest the camera, folks, for a second, see what's occurring in the chat. Do apologise if I've missed anything. So anyone that's recently joined, good afternoon. Well, blind lord, there is something coming. easyJet A380 from Barcelona. Thanks Alibi58. I was saying earlier in the show about how important moderators are. High quality mods. And Alibi, Ken, Nel Dopigor, top of the top. Nice one, Alibi. That was a proper save. So our incoming flight from Barcelona. Somewhere else it's on our radar. Not just for the plane spotting, but seems a pretty interesting place to go to anyway. If you can combine it with planes, sounds a bit of a winner with a bit of sunshine. Of course, for me, anything with a bit of sunshine is a winner. Stay with this till it turns off. Sure, somebody has started something up out of my line of sight. So let's just jump back into the chat. Les, you survived the shopping. Well, I don't know about survival. Dopey Gorp went out to get some flowers. I'm starting to fear for Dopey Gorp. I think the credit card may have had a caning. Oh, and here we have some Icelandair action. Last time we were here, if I loosely remember, it was a Max 9. I'm not sure what we've got today. I'll not pretend I can distinguish between a Max 8 and a Max 9. Gorgeous though. What I'm pretty confident is it's on its way back to Reykjavik. So as always folks, if you like what you see, please do give us a like, and if you haven't yet subscribed, please consider it. Neither cost you anything and help us massively with YouTube. And if you do subscribe, you tell me it's always good to hit the notification bell as well. Complete the set. Ooh, blimey. I think I've saved the telescope there. Although if you say, where's this from? See, what's happened, I've been lulled into a false sense of security by the pause in play. Although I genuinely didn't see that coming. No need to say it, should have gone to Specsavers. Or some other optician. The Specsavers don't actually sponsor us. Right, let's get to the Icelandair. I can see something rumbling high overhead. Sounds interesting, but it's well above the cloud cover. Yeah, park behind the bush, just the job. Now W, 142 likes, 150 before the end of the show. Well, I reckon we can do 8 more likes before then. I reckon we've nearly got an hour left. Please do give us that like. I think that went out fairly long. I think that's our first departure that the ambulance building's got in the way of, I think. What shall I park on? So, wind report. I think the wind is changing direction. I think. Certainly wasn't that way earlier on. Oh, Nels counted us up, 148. Max 9, thanks Ken. That was a Max 9, good stuff. Nel W, 150, smashing. The march is on, folks. 200, can we do 200? I don't want to sound like an auctioneer. Right, here's the thing. Les Donaldson, you have made an old man very happy, buddy. That Turkish A380 is due in around 5 to 5. Do tell me in the chat if I'm wrong, But you know, they often list it and then replace it with a 321, and it was marked up 330, and I thought, what odds it will be? Is that definitely a 330? And could you confirm the time for sure? You're right, Michelle, it was the other way. So I think I was expecting an easterly here, an 05 for landings and takeoffs. So I was a little bit surprised to find we were still runway 23. But yeah. Oh, I'm all excited about this 330. We might bring the pop-up forward, although if it's coming in at 4:30, folks, I'm probably going to be knacked. God, we all love a 330, don't we? Anyway, that's enough of this very worn out looking sock. Well, a limp looking sock, which is quite a good thing, because obviously without the wind howling in the background. I'm just going to pop the camera somewhere scenic. Let's see what's happening actually on the other mound. So this is the other place that's quite popular, this side. It's just thinned out a little bit there now. I did think about that, but I used this spot last time, so I'm a creature of habit. So let's pan most of the 2,630 odd feet, whatever it is, yards, not feet. Right. Thanks, LW. Jet 2 Boeing 737 8MG from Palma de Mallorca in next. I will keep my eye, or one of my good eyes, on that horizon. Oh, Andy P, that's brought a smile, mate. I can literally box everything up here, toot sweet. So yeah, as soon as we wind the show down, and as I was saying at the top of the show actually when we opened, if the action is pretty much done with the Emirates 380, when that goes out hopefully at 2:45, we'll close the show slightly earlier. Definitely worth reinvesting the time to try and get the Turkish 330. And I'm assuming the plan is, I'm assuming they are doing reverse ops runway 06 there, so that'll be okay, because I'm staying very close to there, so I'm pretty close to the showground, so I can be out the car and set up pretty quickly. I'll not pretend I know where this one's going. I do know it's an Embraer ERJ 145. I'd like to say 145 SP, but let's just say 145 for cash. Let's get the cockpit. Oops, somebody's on finals as well. I'll have a look at that in a second, folks. Right, that is the Jet 2 from Palma. Fantastic. So one in, one out. And we are now into the last hour of the show. Folks. There's an easyJet trundling out behind as well. Can't pretend I can remember where that's going, but I'll guess at Bristol. Guesses are no good at this game, are they? Should know. Right, let's get to the Jet 2. Well, when I said Jet 2 to Bristol, I'm just going to keep shaking the dice till it's a Jet 2 to Bristol. Guessing one of these might be going there. Oh dear, shameful stuff. We'll stay with this one for the minute. Brian Clark, thank you so much, sir. Super chatting the channel. Brian and Linda in Coventry, hello to you both. Hope Sunday's been really kind to you. You've been really kind to us, so I'm glad you're enjoying it. We will endeavour to keep pleasing you between now and 3 o'clock. So let's just watch. Let's go to the Loganair departure, I think. Makes the most sense to be on that one. One that's hidden behind that bush. Smartly away. Be a little bit low cloud there. Lost focus a couple of times, didn't we? Right, let's try and make sense of these easyJets. This cluster of easyJets. This bush has got to go, folks. Come on, Glasgow Airport, get the strimmer out. It's such a great place. So in fact, yes, the one you're looking at is going to Bristol, followed by the Belfast flight. That one being now. So if you like easyJet, you're in the right place at the minute. Somebody's on finals, which I know would have been shouted in the chat, so that just reflects my inability to toggle screens. We'll get to that one in a jiff. So we also have an easyJet in our hat trick of easyJets coming in from Malaga, A380, which we'll come to in a bit. No let up with that bird song, is there? Right, that's the Belfast departure, which we'll pull away from. In fact, let's pull away from it now. See some things moving, don't we? Malaga incoming. Right, as we pack that one away, next one lines up behind the bush. So I'd imagine the minute that Malaga flight vacates, it'll be pedal to the metal. Chance to have a quick look in the chat, no doubt. I do apologise if I've missed anybody. So if you just joined us, I'm Mark, welcome to the show, and thank you for choosing to spend a bit of time with us. It is entirely our pleasure to be able to share the action from Glasgow International Airport. It's quite a pleasant Sunday afternoon. I love that wind-up sound. So I don't know if I've missed it in the chat, but we've got the A380 due out in about 45 minutes time, if everything runs to script. What a way to finish a show. Especially if it turns out we might have a chance of picking up the Turkish A330 for the opening of our pop-up show. Margins are tight on that, folks, but you know, if we can do it, we will. These flying spiders, I say flying spiders, I don't know how they're appearing, but every time I brush them off they keep re-emerging. So they must be flying, because I don't know where else they're coming from. I mean, not flying with wings like, but being carried on the wind. But then again, it's not that windy. How are they getting here, I ask myself. Oh. I'm with you, Michelle. I love that spooling sound. Nicola Carter, how are you doing? I can hear some turbo propping in the background somewhere. Let's just have a look. Might be a few things transponding. So what we got coming in? easyJet from Faro. I can see not yet on finals. Right, find what I'm looking for. Aer Lingus, we're on the way to Belfast. And British Airways actually have an Embraer shortly to go London City. An Embraer 190 standard range. So looks like we're okay for action, folks. Just want something to appear in my eye line, and I have a hunch that Aer Lingus are going to oblige me. Let's see how we do. I can feel the vibrations. Come on, I'm in suspense. Just caught Ken Alloway's comment about the Loganair ERJ 145. 16,000 feet and still NA. The proverbial road to nowhere. Or one of Simon Kirby's Secret Service's mystery flights. We'll set up for this Belfast. outgoing flight, shall we? So, we also have our British Airways Embraer 190 standard range London City flight. And if that wasn't enough for you, I'm not sure if this is transponding, but here we have Saab. I believe that's the 340, sorry, Loganair Saab 340. But 100% certain. I'm certain it's Loganair. Suddenly it's all happening at once. Hey, they get up smartly, don't they? The Embraers. Of course you've got to if you're flying into London City. Back to terra firma. Minimum gap there. Belfast bound. I've not checked the time on that, but I can't imagine it'd be more than 25 minutes, 20 minutes even. I think I'm going to accept a telescope on that. I got it before the wheels went down. Oh dearie me. Yeah, I'll take a telescope. Christopher Boys, take an aviator class membership. Welcome to the channel for Christopher. Absolutely cock a hoop. See, I'm getting my words back to front. Excitement again. Oop, better watch for this Saab. I'm all over the place now. Too much excitement. Yep, Christopher, welcome mate. Fantastic support. Better stay with this, otherwise I'll miss it, won't I? There seems so much that's been crammed into today. Lost it in the bush. I really have lost it in the bush. QC Cats, I thank you for exonerating me. Thank you. Thank you, Nell W. Jet 2 from Roos. 737, turning on to finals. Yep, another invisible Saab. Going somewhere. To a Saab convention. Yeah, Nell, you've got to tell us when you do book it, because there's a 5% chance we might end up trying to stream you. Sounds on the mic like the wind's picked up a little bit, but I don't think it has. It has changed direction though. Ooh, well, I think on. Yeah, Nell, please do let us know. Like I say, I can't guarantee it, but if we could do it, we'd like to do it. I think public demand would say, come on guys, get your camera down there. Have a quick drink of water. Dry as a box of sand. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, well, somebody's on finals. Now I know that's been called in the chat. I think I was a bit dehydrated. Yeah. So yes, it's the 737 from Roos. I know I'm not saying that quite right, but it's my best and final offer. In fact, I suppose I better line the camera up ready. Remember folks, we've got the 380 due to go at 14:45 or thereabouts. Here for the minute. You can just see the light twinkling. Give me a chance to blow some of these spiders off. Right, let's get close. Get what we came here for. Get some close-up action. Pop the smoke. while I think on, thinking forward planning, could somebody let me know in the chat which runway is in use at Edinburgh at the minute? I'm just thinking when we collapse the show here and move on to Edinburgh, if that 330 is coming in, fine margins and all that, I was assuming it was going to be an 06 operation this afternoon, but just in case they're going from the other end, be useful to know, because if I've got to go to Kirkliston I'll just go straight there, whereas if it comes in 06 I'll go straight to the hotel and dump the car there and sprint across the road. Christopher, I'm overnight in Edinburgh. Going to stay at the Holiday Inn Express opposite the Ingliston Showground. It's pretty handy, particularly if they're going to do 06. Just rest the camera for a minute. You'd think one of those would go up during the course of the show, wouldn't you? Treat us. I think that's 06, Michelle. Don't think they do 09 at EDI, but unless I'm getting my head tipped up. Thank you though, it's that'll be they're not coming at, yeah, thank you Andrew Flyer. In fact, Andrew Flyer, I don't think I've said hello. If I haven't, remiss of me. Welcome to the stream, mate. I'm Mark, and thanks for that. Yeah, 06, Chiz Blue. That's handy because I can literally just park up, check in, and do what I've got to do. Things you'll do to see a 330. I think that was a nice thing when we did Dublin the other week. We might have had technical troubles with throttling. Sounds horrible, doesn't it? But you do get a good number of 330s through there. JT Jets, good afternoon to you. How you doing? So looking further out, what we got? Jet 2 737 from Malaga, shaping to turn. Little way out yet. What's it say? 4 minutes. Let's have a probably not transponding Loganair ERJ 145 SP. I'm guessing it's an SP. That'll fill the time out while we're waiting for easyJet to arrive. Lots of sirens, but can I see anything? Oh, hang on. Looks like an ambulance that... Oh, is it an ambulance? Yeah, it's an ambulance. Heading away from the airport. So, another Loganair, off to the Loganair convention. It came in from Exeter, so I don't know, is it going back to Exeter? Southampton perhaps? I can't see it on flight radar. Either which way we're filming it. So I think he'll just turn and burn. People starting to turn up again now, I think, with the A380 scheduled out in the next, what, half an hour or so? Less than half an hour, 20 minutes. Told you I've got no concept of time when I'm streaming. Hope it works for you like that at home. Just for pure escapism. snagged on something there. About 2 or 3 times, haven't we, during the course of the show? Anyway, let's look for our incoming Jet 2. Oh, it's a bit further out than I thought. Hey-ho. Let's imagine I'm taking this jet home. See, this would be the way to live stream, wouldn't it? In fact, if that is your jet, let us do a feature. Right, sorry if I've missed anybody in the chat. Trying to catch up. So yes, QC Cat, you're right, that is a nest of tiddlers over on the far side. You think they put one up in the sky for us. Zooming on down. Yeah, thanks Les as well, just confirming easterly. I was expecting the easterly here, which I think it might be a bit more easterly now, but there's no wind strength. And I don't know if each airfield varies it, but I think if it's below 5 knots, they've got some flexibility. Canalaway, thank you mate, you're right. Folks, if you like what you see, although I appreciate it this exact moment in time, well actually you must like the plane that you're looking at the minute. We've got a little pause in action, Jet 2 imminent in. But yes, please give us a like. If you're not yet subscribed and you like what we do, please support us and give us that subscription. They're both free, liking and subscription, and of course that good old notification bell will keep you in touch with what we're up to. And we are now able to offer memberships from today, so if you click on that button, all the details are there. I'll not hard sell it, but it does really help support the channel. Eddie the editor is working on our intro video, and I was saying earlier in the show, his first mission is to make me look about 40 before we can actually air it. Apparently the software doesn't exist for that, so he says he'll do what he can. But either which way, it's something to consider. That's the one thing that's missing from this position. I'm not getting any Jet A1 or the odd nip of burnt rubber. Obviously I prefer the Jet A1, but you know the smells that you associate with an airfield. That's a top tip, Tony. I'm generally wary of parking on there for some reason. I'm fearful of being set up and then some bloke in a bib coming over saying can't park there chief or whatever, but at that time of day no. So that was the other bit actually, well prompted Tony. So we are going to do a pop-up stream from Edinburgh at 5 o'clock. I will literally wrap this up in about 20 minutes or so, well officially at 3 o'clock, but if the action dries up, and then I'll be off down the M8 to get set up again. Buoyed by the news that we are running reverse ops at Edinburgh, and as excitedly understanding that Turkish Airlines are in fact putting on the A330, although I don't know what its run time is at the minute. The way it goes, it'll probably come in early. But you know what they say, you've got to be in it to win it. Okay, see you JT Jets. I think I'm caught up. Let's have a look, see. JRS Aviation, Emirates Gate is closed. You must have moved your position, or you're very well informed. Are you on the other? You're still on the other mound? Give us a wave if you are. Top tip, that sounds good. Gates closed. So they've got 12 minutes to get themselves moving. No QC Cat. Ken and Alibi have forsworn me to avoid singing on air. Not till I complete at least 15 hours of singing lessons and learn the words. And as for dance, well, listen, the only way that's going to work, you have to stand me a few beers first. Then it will work, and the more beer, the better it works. Although, not necessarily pleasing to the eye. Okay. Although I'm visioning a cold one now. Alibi, you're incorrigible. Yeah, I could probably just about manage zippity-doo-dah. Ah, the Turkish 330 is 10 minutes out. Right, okay, so am I thinking that it's departing around 5 o'clock? It's got it in my head there's a Turkish 330 that was due. In fact, it's probably going to be better, isn't it, if it's a departure on the one hand, because we'll get the noise and it's unlikely to go early. You know, when I get this kit to the other end, it'll all be scrambled into a box. You do know that. And when I get there, I'll be tipping it all back out of the box, wondering why it doesn't all work. I might be 57, pushing 58, but I reckon I'm still 17 at heart. Hey ho, Alicante. Let's think Alicante. Let's get focused. A bit like the cameraman, needs focusing. Works well if watched. More minutes now till the 380 goes out, folks. Finale, really. Yeah, I was thinking about Tony McCall's words. I probably do need to park up on the showground. Literally tip the stuff out. Hope it all comes out in roughly the right order. I'm leaving most of the leads plugged in where they are, except for the camera, obviously, in the tripod. Part of plain sailing aviation's rapid response capability. Small R in rapid, not capital, unfortunately. So don't see anything on finals, but I think there's a few things bleeping on the deck. Let's have a look. I think the 380 hasn't stopped bleeping, if I'm honest. Looks like we have a British Airways departure to London Heathrow. I think it's our 321 that's due out imminently. In fact, you should be able to see it in a jiff. Sorry if I encroach onto the increasing throng of people that are here to see the 380 off. Sorry, Dopey Gorp. I know you like a 777 in the show. I've not managed to conjure one up, mate. How's this? Forbes, hey, good afternoon, Forbes. I don't think I've said hello, so I'm Mark, so welcome, and you've joined the Executive Lounge. So my thanks to you, and welcome to the Exec Lounge too. Les says the Turkish is due out at 17:10. Folks, we're on a roll today. It's a good thing I've not got one of those little cameras behind me, because I did a little bit of a skip and a jump. You might have caught a bit of it on, with the microphone. John Hughes. How are you, my friend? At this end, I'm ship shape. I can see something on finals, and I've got this 321, which will take for a few more seconds. Now I'm going to have to chicken out. Don't miss a landing. Yeah, I smell rubber now, which clearly means the wind is moving. Oh. Remember last time we were here, folks, that were on that show? We had Loganair doing little donuts over on the far side for about 2 hours. Slight exaggeration. Tony says use the M74 and 73 to get to the eastbound M8. No, top one, 74 and 73. Cheers, Tony. Yeah, because you got that tipping out from the shops thing, haven't you? 4 o'clock trading and all that. Cool, smell a lot of rubber. So that incomer, just seen Alibi's post, that was from Stornoway. Yep, it's gone black now. QC cap, Mark like a DJ. Yeah. Carl Shield, enjoy your Zeds, buddy. You'll miss the 380, but you can catch us on highlight. So folks, got urgent. Just caught the zoom a little bit enthusiastically. Deafening silence is me just checking things out at this end. Check I'm not going to lose anything juice wise in the last 20 minutes. Shouldn't do because the run time's been fairly light. Thor Cloud, welcome back. Good day, mate. Hope things are good for you in Oz. Kind of guessing it must be Monday there. Is it Monday there yet? Rab H, welcome back, mate. Welcome to Glasgow International Airport. We are literally in that last phase of the show. Gary Fraser, welcome to the show, mate. Don't think we've said hello before. I'm Mark, so welcome. Interesting Nell's comment about Belgium people not being fans of the Brussels livery. For some reason, I always, with the polka dot one, see some kind of Croatia crossover. Obviously, they've got some nice specials. Well, depends on what you like, but you know what I mean. Fairly distinct specials. And to be honest, I like to see special liveries. Full stop. Now, something must move. We'll be moving imminently. Let's have a little see. Zach Ralston, hello my friend. Last night at 1:30 AM I was Jet 2 from Lanzarote. Very good. I'm going to guess the weather was a treat there. I find myself, when I'm in the chat and people are talking about where they've been, thinking I'm overdue a holiday. Anyway, what I was going to do, I was going to have a quick look, see what's occurring. I think our 380 is moving, or at least it may have pushed back. I'm seeing a little white line on my flight radar. Tells me it has moved. Due to go out 14:35 it says actually here, so technically it's a little bit late. I got 14:35. I've got 14:45 hardwired in my head. Good news is we're here, so don't seem to be short of battery power. So we are into that back face of the show, folks. Dear moderators, can somebody tell me where we are on likes? Just mine's still frozen at 14. Yeah, John Hughes, I quite like the Red Devil livery. The Tintin one is interesting on the eye, but not a, you know, it's not a jump out for me. But the Red Devil one, yeah, definitely. Andrew Flyer, thank you mate. And LW 179 likes. Folks, can we get to 200 by the end of the show? There must be 21 people watching who probably think it's worth a like. I hope you do. We try hard to give you some entertainment. I mean, obviously the gaps in traffic are not what we'd prefer for you. Back to back would be the preference. Have a look, Ken, yep. So they've all buzzed in. It's almost, they jumped out pretty quickly, didn't they? 179, 179, 179. Yep. 21. If we could close the innings at 200, I reckon that would be fantastic. Either which way, it's been a great show, so thank you for taking the time to watch us, people. So hopefully you'll have a chance to have a rest or something to eat or whatever and join us at Edinburgh around 5 o'clock. I'm just having a look on yon horizon. Alibi, you are right, that ATR 72 from Dublin is indeed on finals. Nels called that one too. I will complete the triangulation. Say yep. Time for a quick sip though. QC Cats, you ready for some more turbo? Right, this is like the last show, isn't it? I kept resting the camera on the exec jet and it never went anywhere. Oh, I can't believe it. He aborted very early, so we have a go around. I'll be darned. They've started this baby up. Maybe we will get to see it though. Yeah, the ATR 72 didn't even shake close. Michelle Johnson, I like the Air Greenland livery as well, although I've never seen it in person. It seems, I know it's sort of counterintuitive, Air Greenland and it's in red, which is probably the whole gag in the first place, but I like it. I quite like Play as well, not seen that in person yet either. That's what I love about aviation, it's always something. Yeah, QC Cap, the glasses are harsh on that one. That one, it wasn't really even shaping up. Pilot decided way out it wasn't going to do it. I think he certainly had a lot of time at his disposal from the position he made the decision, but as we know, these are the things that pilots are so good at. Thank you, Les. Big fellas on the move. So, and you'll see in the foreground, the crowds are here, eagerly awaiting the 380's departure. Yeah, rabbits. Light, the winds here are light as well. Alibi 58, 14 to 200. Come on folks, can we even do it before the 380 gets off the deck? That'd be awesome. Now, it's been a blessing today, the lack of wind. I mean, we all like a bit of crosswind wind action, although these kind of positions probably don't give you the best perspective on that. I think where we shoot from at Newcastle is particularly good from that, where we head on to the runway. So as Ken calls it, next departure is the A380 to Dubai. It's on the move. I see somebody else on finals. I don't think that's the ATR 72, and it's not. So the next incomer will be British Airways incoming A320 from Heathrow. But look, we're here for this first, so you will indulge me. We'll check the landing when it comes, but I'll cut away at the last. An A380-800. That's me just taking a picture. Do not adjust your set. British Airways shortly to take off. And we have a little escort here. quick question to Tony McCall if you're still in the chat. Or Trev Lyon, long time no see, mate. Hope you're keeping well. Tony McCall, you were saying about the M7374 and avoiding the M8 through Glasgow, because obviously I'm here on a sat nav. It's just occurred to me my AA map book is sitting on my office desk unhelpfully. What would I put into the sat nav to avoid it taking me through the centre of Glasgow, do you think? Because you know, you go in a certain direction and then it kind of forces it to recalibrate the route, doesn't it? Ali, see you, mate. Hope to see you later on. But either which way, next time out, Mucker. Bobby Livingsworth, let's get a bit closer. In fact, we've got time for a quick pan. I don't think he's going anywhere immediately. I was bemoaning the lack of Jet A1. I'm getting a little bit now, folks. It's another good reason to have got out of bed. I'm not sure if it's the BizJet that's warming up opposite me, or a little bit off the 380. Thanks, Ali Boy. Cessna 680A citation latitude from Tenerife on finals. I've got visual, mate, and that's obviously what the 380 is holding for. Just checking back through the chat. In fact, let's just stay here and take the cut across. That worked reasonably well with British Airways. Try to take another snap while I'm at it. Nicely done. And away we go. As I was saying when this arrived, when you look at the sheer size of these things and the weight, it's counterintuitive that they can actually fly. But they do, happily. Andrew Flyer, join the M8 at Glasgow Airport, stay on it till you get to Ingliston. Dead easy and faster. Roger that. When does it get there? That's just me taking a quick photo, folks. I promise to take no more. Just beautiful. Sorry? No. I'm plain sailing aviation. Plain sailing aviation. Oh, good stuff. Subscribe to us. That was definitely shaped Jerry Dyer's ego. No disrespect, Jerry. I've just been mistaken for you. I've just been asked if I'm Big Jet TV. I think we are some way shorter on scale. But yeah, good fun. Quickly looking in the chat as we are in that very last, it's 3 o'clock, my word. I'm going to have to close this down, aren't I? Right. Is there anything imminent to go, folks? Is the first question. Because I don't think this jet in front of us is going. Quick look-see on flight radar. I'll tell you what we're going to do, folks. I'm going to close the show. Please just bear with me. Is there any goodbyes to be said? I'll tell you what. I'll say the goodbyes to camera. If our ATR 72 that's on lap 2 is in shot, we'll take it and I'll just jog back to the car. I'm in better shape than I look. You know what we do, we don't like to... Oh, 6 flights to 200? Oh, well there you go. I'll close the show. There's a beast jet going anyway. No, it's our incomer. I'm chatting at me out. Okay folks, end of the show. I did say I'd try and get away promptly at 3 o'clock, and obviously it's all about the pop-up now. Get myself down to Edinburgh, get set up, 5 o'clock. If I'm there a little bit earlier, I'll fire it up earlier, but it won't be much before. So look, been a fantastic day. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Particular thanks and shout out to the moderators, Alibi58, Ken Alloway, Nell W, Dopey Gorp. Dopey, I hope you got those flowers. I've been worried about that since you said you went out. Thanks also to Ken Alloway and Dopey Gorp for gifting memberships. We launched memberships today and that is a fantastic touch. From myself and Eddie, thank you so much. Ryan and Linda Harrison super chatted us. Oops. I'll get this ATR 72. You don't need to see too much of me, do you really? Hatless today now, just too warm. Although I've got a feeling I might need it at Edinburgh. Last plane of the show, folks. As soon as we put it on the deck, I'll close out and I look forward to seeing as many of you as possible at Edinburgh in a little under 2 hours time. Whatever you do between times, stay safe and have fun. Right, show's it. Thank you. Bye now.